Hi everyone, welcome to the course, and today we will be learning that how we can integrate our Tailwind CSS with React. So whenever we include Tailwind with React, it becomes very easy for us to implement CSS, and the efficiency of the React also increases. So now let's see how we can work with that. So first of all, I've already created created this folder of my React. So now what do I want is, I want to delete some components from here and some files which is not required for me. So let's delete that. So in the public, let's start with this. Okay, so what do we need to do is npm run start. So it will take few seconds and it will open it. So as we are going to work on Tailwind, so I've already, this particular file is opened over here. So we'll do that in a while. So here, let's come to this index.js because that error will be there because we need to remove some files as we deleted some particular folders. So now let's create a component. Now see that every time you want to create a component is file only. That if you name file, like here you are saying app.jsx, so JSX is the extension for your React. You can even create .js file and you can write component inside. There is no problem with that, but it's by convention we write JSX, so I will tell you to do that also. Okay, so let's move forward. What do I want? RAFCE. This is the shortcut for creating any component. See, when you create your component with the help of shortcut, so it is going to create a component with the name you have created a file, and your component name initial should be capital always. So if you are importing any of the file, right, that's only you will be able to use it. See, if you will not use it, nothing will vary, but it's mandatory to use it over here. Now you have created a component, you want to use this component somewhere else because you know that this index file is going to render over here. That is why it is working over here. Otherwise, even if I'll remove this export, it's going to give me an error. See, imported app was not found. That means my browser was not able to find that particular thing, so I need to export it. When I export something from here, by default means I want to export this particular component only. I can have more than one component also in one particular file, but I don't want to do that, so I will go with default one. So here you will write the app. If I will remove this, see, if you are not including this and you are writing app, so enter it, you will have the component now. Okay, but the thing is, I want to have a Tailwind with this. So let's have a Tailwind. You can open another terminal and let's move to this. So we have already created that in the previous lecture, but let's start with this. Copy this thing and paste it over here. This thing you need to do whenever you want to include your Tailwind CSS. So I'm showing you that how you can also do that. Now copy this thing, npx tailwind css.init, and paste it here. It will take few seconds and it will be downloaded. Now as it's saying that add the part to all your template files in your config tailwind config.js. So now we have installed those things. So I already have this file, but we need to copy that thing. So in the content we have source, where we are telling that what kind of extensions are allowed. Okay, so these are done. Now let's go back to this. In the index.css, put this particular utility. So I don't require it, so just put this thing. After that, it's saying npm run start. So let's do Control-C over here so that our file will stop running. rendering, and it will render again. Now come back to this and reload it. It will take few seconds and it will reload that. Okay, so done. Now let's see that whether our CSS is working fine or not. So you will just copy this thing from here and to app.js paste this thing. Okay, now let's come back to this thing. See, your Tailwind is successfully applied to your project. Why I'm saying that? See, text 3XL, that means your text is going to be near about, come to the properties first. Okay, so let me just search about text property. Okay, so we'll click on text. See, text will come. So you want size, click on this. See, text 3XL means your font size is going to be 30 pixel now. So this is your 30 pixel. Now font bold means it is going to be of font width. See, font width is going to be 100 over here, which is this, right? Now after that, what do you want to do is underline is there. When you underline property, what it will do is go to your text styling, text decoration. See, to text decoration, there is a property called underline, which is underlining it. So if you want to change the color, so how you will do that? So put this text, and if you want to use your inbuilt color, then you can go with this always. See, the color is there. Now, if you want to have your specific color, so you can always go with your color hunt, which is the extension provided by your Google Chrome. Okay, see, you have this palette, copy the code from color code from here, and whenever you want to have your own kind of specific design, so for that thing you have to use the property like this, and do not forget to put your hash in front of the code. So now refresh it. See, it's perfectly working. Now let's change the style a little bit. I want to create a div over here. Okay, and I want to create another component mainly. Okay, so let's name this main. Okay, to this one I want to create one component. For that I want to have a components folder. Fine, and now inside this let's have header.jsx. Fine. Now use the shortcut for your component. This is the component, and inside this, what do I want to do is, let's go with your elements. Let's say that you have a li, and in that you have anchor tag. So here go with your home. Now repeat it multiple times. Now see, home, your about us, and before that add services. That would be much fine. Okay. So services, your about us, and your contact us. Done. Now if you'll see, something is there which is the underlining one. So in React, what happened is you can't use your href directly, but put some kind of value ABC, or you can just add home. To here you can add services and about and your contact. Done. And you have created this component, but you need to export it from here. It is already exporting from here, but you need to call it inside your app. Why inside your app? Because your app is the main component which is going inside your index.js. So your browser will find your index.js. It will see that inside index.js in root app is rendering, so it will go to app component, and the app component will contain the header component. So let's have your header. Okay, so you need to have your first letter capital, header.jsx. Okay, so now to this put header. And do not forget to change your component name also. Otherwise, you won't be able to call it by their name. See, now it's there. And let's see. You need to refresh this. How you will do that? Let me just tell you. So the file, so what happens in React is whenever you rename anything, it will give you an error now, because initial file was your header. So even if you write something like this, see, it is going to give you a small h because it has memorized it. Now if you'll write this, see, here you are getting a red underline, but in your browser it is perfectly displaying. So let's have the styling over here. Now see how you will use the styling. First of all, use your class name over here, and to this, let's suppose you want to add background color. So go with BG and let's select some good colors from here. Okay, so let's have this color as the background color, which is going to be your header's color, right? And go back to this. See, this is perfectly displaying. Now you want to remove the decoration of this, which is your bullets point. So how you are going to remove that? Let's check that. So move to the decoration one, where you can remove the decoration. So for that you will go to decoration style. Okay, so this decoration style will help you to remove the styling of it. But before that, let's add some more thing, is that I want to display it in single line. So see, if you write flex, what happens is it will display in all single line. So let's add some padding to this. For padding, you want to add 10 from your y-axis. So y means padding from top and bottom both. Okay, so as you can see that this is much, so you can go with 8, that will be fine. And you can always go with justify content center, so the whole of the content will be there in the center. Now see, if you'll say text, if you'll go back to this thing and you will say decoration dotted, so your this decoration will be applied. But notice here we have list over here. Okay, so I want to change the list styling. For that, you will go to documentation of list. See, list style type. Go to this. We don't want any style. So what you will do, you will put list none, so that the bullets coming before the list will get removed. Now to notice one thing, if I am adding in the div, what do you think? It will get removed. Yes, because the div is containing the list elements, and these list is the children of our parent component, which is div. Fine, so you can see that we need to add some kind of spacing in it. So let's add class name and padding let's 2x 5. Okay, so I will show you multiple ways to add on. If you are adding this, you need to add it on every line. Fine. So this is how it is displaying right now. So let's suppose you want to have a logo also. So for that, inside this have another div, and in that you can go with your h5, or if you can download one image or anything. Let's take the image of our logo only, okay, logo.png. But you won't be able to use your logo like this. Why? In React you need to import an image, then only you will be able to use it. So see how you will use it. Import. Now you can name anything to this image. I want to rename it to logo, so I'll do it logo from. Now if you are getting something from your public folder, then you don't need to specify the exact file. Just put a slash and you will have the public folder, and inside that you can get your logo. So whichever logo you want to use it. See, first of all check it, it is having some logo. Fine. Now come to this header and use your image as you use, and in that put src, but in src you will put alt as logo image. Now how will you write the source? See, you're going to add logo. So now check how you will use this. Module not found. You attempt to import which falls outside the source folder. Relatively imports outside of source are not allowed. So we are trying to access this particular thing which is outside the source. Okay. So for that, what we will do is we'll try to use it like this. See. So use this kind of thing and use your this logo, okay, and you need to refresh it, or you can just leave it like this. Just use it. Okay, so your attempt to this falls outside the source. Okay, let's put this inside the source. Okay, move this. I'll tell you that how you can import from there. So it is not now inside that. So where it's in the same folder. So you just need to go inside. It's inside component. No, it's outside the component. So what do you want? You want to use logo.png. Now refresh it. See, your logo is there, but you don't want this big. So what do you want to do? You need to add a class name. Okay, we want to have a height of 20 and width of 20. See, you have a smaller image. But now if you have this image, so you should not put it in the center. Justify. So see, when you will remove this, it is all in the corner. So you put justify evenly. Okay, so it will spread out evenly. After that, you can add definitely a button to it. So if you are doing justify evenly, so see, you can remove this spacing from here. See, you don't need to add any kind of spacing. Okay, so let's reduce some width also, as I guess this is too much. Yeah, it's fine. but you want your elements to align in the center. So for that you want to go text align, or you can just add text center. So your text is already in the center, but you want to align it from the top also. So for that you will use align content. So see, I will tell you how you can check. Come to your flexbox. If you can see here, you can just search upon these things, but we'll get it, don't worry. See, align content, you want to align content in the center, so you will use content center for that. So you don't need to memorize anything, just use it. And now see, you want to add only specific items, so item center. Okay, see, now all the items are in the center. So that means why I used item center, because I don't want to move my whole of the container. I want to move my specific elements to the center. So now it is perfectly fine. Let me add one more div. So for that, what I will do is I want to add a button of login, and to this add a class where you want to add some border. So border will not come like this. If you want border, let's suppose 2, and border of color, let's suppose it is black. So you will have a black border, and you can have text white. So if you use F 6 times F, it will be a text white. You want to have a padding from 5, and I think this will be much, so go with 2, and padding from X will be from left and right. So let's go with 6. Okay, so it's fine. If you go with 8, so I want to give it some roundedness, so you can go with the rounded. Okay, so it's rounded. If you go with MD, it will be in the mid, but to background color I want to add some good color to this. So let me go to color palette, and I want to select some color. So let's see which combination will go over here. So we can even go with this color, I think so. So you need to put hash also in starting. So see, your color, your nav bar is perfectly placed over here. So this is what you can create with Tailwind when you are using it with React. So in this, you can create your whole component and your file also. Now if you want to use display twice a time, see, you just don't need to do anything. You just have to use the same component. You will have header twice a time. So in the next lecture, we'll see how we can use this particular header in some another document. So that's it, everyone. Thank you so much.